Welcome to Speak Stride English, the best place to help you learn English.
Chapter 5, Bonding and Setbacks.
Over the next few days, Mia and Leo worked together closely, sharing clues, comparing notes, and piecing together the city's forgotten stories. They grew into an efficient team, each bringing their strengths to the table. Mia, with her eye for detail and natural curiosity, could find significance in even the smallest symbols and clues, while Leo's knowledge of the city's history helped him make sense of the strange places and artifacts they encountered.
An unexpected discovery.
One afternoon, the compass led them to a location neither of them expected, a small, neglected cemetery at the edge of the city. The cemetery was quiet, its weathered headstones covered in moss, some tilting with age. As they wandered through the rows, following the compass needle, Mia noticed a strange stone marked with a familiar symbol, the same one she had seen on the map and the compass.
The stone was an old, barely legible headstone inscribed with the name Eliza Hart. According to the date, she had passed away in 1927, the same year the woman from the train station had disappeared.
Leo knelt down, brushing away the moss covering the base of the stone. Beneath it, they found a small, rusted metal box. With a gentle touch, Mia opened it, revealing a bundle of faded letters tied together with a frayed ribbon.
She untied the ribbon, unfolding the top letter with care. As she read, her heart ached. The letters were addressed to a man named Arthur, and they recounted Eliza's dreams, her hopes of escaping the city, and her plans to build a life somewhere far away. There was a sadness in her words, a longing that seemed to echo across the years. The last letter hinted at a hidden treasure, a gift she wanted to leave behind. Not for money, but as a reminder of her love and the life she never had the chance to live.
Leo looked over her shoulder, reading silently. When they finished, they both sat in silence for a moment, the weight of Eliza's story settling around them. It's heartbreaking, Mia murmured. She wanted to leave something meaningful behind, a part of herself. Leo nodded. It's like each place the compass leads us to has a story that was buried, and now we're bringing him back to light. A setback. Their quiet moment was interrupted by the sudden crunch of footsteps behind them. Mia and Leo turned, their hearts leaping as they recognized the man and woman from the train station. The pair stood just a few feet away, their eyes fixed on the rusted metal box in Mia's hands. Well, the man sneered, crossing his arms. You two have been busy, haven't you? Mia quickly tucked the letters back into the box, her mind racing. She knew they couldn't afford to lose these precious clues, but she also knew that the man and woman wouldn't let them go without a fight. We don't want any trouble, Leo said, stepping slightly in front of Mia, his voice calm but firm. These letters are private, they're not for you. The woman smirked, her gaze flicking between Leo and Mia. Do you really think we care? That compass doesn't belong to you, and neither do the treasures it's leading you to. Hand it over, and maybe we'll let you walk away. Mia gripped the compass tightly, refusing to back down. This isn't just about treasure, she said, her voice shaking slightly. It's about people's lives, their stories. You wouldn't understand. The man took a step forward, his expression darkening. Enough talking, give us the compass, or you'll regret it. Leo glanced at Mia, his eyes full of determination. Without a word, he grabbed her hand, and they both took off, running through the maze of headstones as fast as they could. The man and woman shouted after them, their footsteps pounding as they chased them through the cemetery. A narrow escape. Mia's heart raced as they zigzagged through the rows, weaving between headstones and ducking behind statues to evade their pursuers. They could hear the man and woman cursing, their footsteps growing louder and closer. At one point, they found a small gate leading out of the cemetery and slipped through it, running into a narrow alley. They kept running until they were certain they had lost them. Finally, out of breath and exhausted, they stopped to catch their breath in a quiet park a few blocks away. For a moment, they stood in silence, panting and clutching their sides. Mia looked at Leo, her face pale but determined. Thank you, I don't know what I would have done without you back there. Leo smiled, though his face was serious. I couldn't just let him take it. We've come too far, and I believe in what we're doing. Mia felt a wave of gratitude, realizing that this journey had brought them closer than she could have imagined. She trusted Leo completely, not just as a partner in this quest but as a friend. A moment of connection. As they sat on a bench, recovering from their close call, Mia and Leo began to share stories from their own lives. Mia told him about her work as a graphic designer and how she had always loved stories. Even as a child, she spoke of her fascination with history, her belief that each object held a story. a memory of the people who had touched it. Leo, in turn, shared stories of his own, his passion for history, his work at the museum, and his dream of preserving the city's heritage. He talked about his late grandfather, who had been an archaeologist and had taught him the value of history, of the importance of uncovering stories and giving voice to the past. By the time they finished, Mia felt a deep bond with Leo. They weren't just two strangers chasing after clues, they were partners, united by a shared purpose. Back to the journey. Once they had recovered, Mia and Leo reviewed the letters they had found in the cemetery. They knew they needed to protect these clues from their pursuers, and they agreed to hide the letters in a safe place at the museum, where only they could access them. The compass, however, would stay with Mia. She felt responsible for it now. More than ever, she could feel the weight of each story, each hidden place, and she was determined to honor the lives that had come before her. As they made their way back to the museum, Leo squeezed Mia's hand reassuringly. "We'll figure this out," he said. "No matter what happens, we'll find a way to protect these stories." Mia nodded, feeling a renewed sense of determination. The stakes were higher now, and their rivals were growing bolder. But she and Leo had something that their pursuers didn't, a genuine respect for the people whose lives they were uncovering. And together, they would make sure those stories were remembered.
End of chapter 5.